Hey, what's up? It's Why, and you're watching this week's episode of Why Stop Now. I'm your host, Wiley Mitchell, and with me today is Jake Harrison. Jake, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for agreeing to come on and chat with me a little bit today. I'm excited to talk to you and get to know you a little bit. Okay, so let's start off. Tell me a little bit about where you're from.
I'm from here, just kind of down in Orchard Mesa, a little bit south, but yeah.
That's
Grand
awesome.
Junction.
And did you enjoy growing up there? I know that Orchard Mesa is kind of like that smaller town feeling, and you're more surrounded by like hay fields instead of being kind of directly in the city. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty nice, just pretty calm. Nothing really happened, but that was fine. We were like half-mile away from City Market, so just would always walk down with my dad. And there's a lot of trails nearby. I enjoy hiking, and so it was pretty nice to just be a short drive away.
Have you always been like an outdoor hiking type of person, or did you just recently get into it?
I'd say I've been like that for a while. My mom would always make me go with her when I was really young, and I just ended up enjoying it. So,
that's cool. Well, you kind of grew up in the perfect location for it then.
Yeah,
Grand Junction's kind of known as being like that perfect outdoorsy spot.
Yeah.
So you grew up here. What high school did you go to?
I went to Central High School.
Right on. And did you enjoy like being in high school? Did you enjoy that portion of your life?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I know that not everybody does, but I just thought I made some good connections and made some good friends, so yeah.
That's excellent. So you actually came in with a couple of college credits, right? You kind of got that knocked out. Like, tell me about like what you did in high school that kind of translated over here.
I just there were some AP classes that they would offer, and so I just figured I might as well take them. And especially last year, it got kind of a little overwhelming, but I made it out. I got all the credits I needed, and so yeah, it was definitely worth it, even if it made it a whole lot harder.
That's cool. So now you're able to come to college and kind of have like an easier load than you would have?
I'd say maybe not easier load, but I just kind of get to start as if I was kind of a sophomore.
Okay.
Like don't need to do the normal required classes. I just kind of start with my major.
Right. And what is your degree?
I'm going to major in biochemistry.
Biochemistry. Yeah. That sounds like really smart. Tell me a little bit about that.
I don't know. It's just kind of, I've always been into science. My dad's a science teacher.
Okay.
He taught for a while, and so I've just kind of always been into that subject. And, I didn't even really know what I wanted to major in after high school, but over the summer I just figured, I enjoy science, so might as well stick with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I feel like, in STEM there are so many possibilities, so yeah. That's really cool. You also have a minor in music, right?
Yes.
How long have you been into music?
Well, I've been playing the violin since I was in 6th grade, so since I was 12, and I don't know, I've just always enjoyed it. Every year I just decided, might as well stick with it. I'm pretty good, might as well keep going, and I made it all the way here. So I just figured if I'm minor, I can keep playing, but I don't really need to make it a career. And so, yeah, just figured, I enjoyed it a lot, so why not keep playing?
That's great, and that's a great way to look at it. Like, you don't necessarily need that as your main source of income and what you do as a career, but just to kind of have it and something that you're able to do and to enjoy while you're here in college.
Yeah.
So you actually told me kind of a funny story earlier. Tell me that again. You originally didn't know what you were getting yourself into with the violin?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just, so you just you pick an instrument, before you start, especially in middle school. You just pick something, and you kind of join that class, and they sort of teach you how. And so we went to Roper Music, just the music shop downtown, to buy just a really cheap instrument, And, there's multiple instruments, of course. And so there's the violin and the viola. And the viola is like a bigger violin with different strings, and just, it's different. But when you're a kid, you don't know that. And so I wanted the bigger one. And so I decided, I'm going to go for the viola, but I didn't know it was called the viola. I thought it was called the violin. And so I was kind of mistaken about which type of instrument I wanted. And so asked for the violin, got the violin, and when I realized it was shorter, like to the smaller one, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll work with this, even if it was my first choice. But I definitely don't regret it. I would make the same choice again. I really enjoy it.
That's funny to hear of, like, that's what you ended up with, even though it wasn't what you wanted. But, like, to see how well it ended up treating you, like, to see that you're still in high school, or you made it all the way through middle school and high school, and now you're in college, performing with it.
Yeah.
So you're in the CMU orchestra, playing the violin. How long have you been doing that?
Playing with CMU.
Yeah.
I started last year when I was a senior in high school. Just for the last semester, I had some free time then, and so when they met, and so I just decided, I'll just join them. I was invited to, and so that was definitely a lot of fun because everyone here is very good, and so it's just especially compared to like high school. So it was a lot of fun to be with people who are like, wow, like these people really love it,
And do you think that that's like enhanced your skills, being around those better performers? Like, has that made you a better performer?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think just whenever I'm like seated with someone who is just much better than me, I just feel like it makes me so much better because I learn from them. And a lot of the times I'll ask for help, they'll give me tips, everyone's really nice, and so it's been very beneficial to be kind of around people better than me,
Yeah, there's so much room to grow, like when you're to learn from those people. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
What do you think has been like the most different thing, like the greatest change that you've had when coming from high school to college?
I think the biggest one is just how like I live here now, because I'm living on campus, and it's just kind of like, it's like this is my house now, like if I want to go eat, like I go to the, the cafeteria. If I want to just do anything, everything's here instead of kind of going from my house to the school, it's just kind of nice where everything happens here, and it's really different.
Yeah, you're just kind of walking to wherever you need to go. What would you say is like the greatest challenge that you've had in your transition?
I think the biggest challenge is just kind of like, I don't know, I haven't like struggled. It's like kind of navigating everywhere, there's some stuff and you're like, I don't know, like where things are. And then once you get that, it's really kind of like time management I can kind of struggle with, especially because like when you live in the same place that you work, you can kind of, it blends together, so you can get distracted easily. So that's definitely been tough, but trying to combat that. So
yeah, that makes sense. So do you feel like it's gotten like easier for you to do that, or kind of harder as the semesters went on?
I think it's kind of gotten easier just because I've like realized the the consequences of not doing your work, and so it's just like I've just kind of learned to separate things, and kind of like relax, and like not like maybe instead of doing my work in my room, I'll go to the library, just kind of separating where I do things to kind of make it easier for me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump back to the orchestra a little bit. So you've performed with them like a couple of different times. You have something kind of coming up soon, don't you?
Yeah, in about 2 weeks from now, I have like there'll be a bunch of little small group performances, 3, 4, 5 people, and that'll be followed by the actual orchestra. And so I'm in one of the small groups and I'm in the orchestra, so
that's cool.
It'll be nice.
What would you say like your greatest challenge has been in your musical career?
I think it's just how like it's definitely tough because it takes a lot of work, a lot of hours of practice just to kind of get some small things, and it's just really tough when you end up performing or auditioning and you just kind of mess up. And I've had my fair share of that, where I'll just be at a concert and just bomb it, or I'll have an audition and I don't make it because I just had a horrible, and it's always just a horrible feeling, and it's definitely a challenge afterwards, because you kind of question like do I really want it? But so you just kind of have to like, regroup with yourself, just kind of say it's got to work harder and get it next time.
Is that the advice that you would give to somebody who might be?
I think so, like especially if you kind of get nervous with performances, or like you're not as good as you want to be. I mean, the only way you can get better is just by doing it more. Like the more you perform, the better you'll get, and the more you practice, the better you'll get. And, sometimes it sucks, but that's how you get better, is just by working hard. So.
Well, that's awesome. It's worked for you. I mean, it's pretty cool to me to see that like it's something that you started so long ago, but that you've just stuck with it and work your way up.
Yeah.
That's kind of all the questions that I have for you today. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah.
You think that's all? Okay, awesome. So don't forget to go watch the orchestra. Remind me the dates.
Well, there's a performance November 14th
Okay.
at 7:30 at the Love Recital Hall, and there's also a performance on December 1st in the same. Well, the December 1st one will be at Robinson Theater at the same time.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. So be sure to go check that out. Thank you for agreeing to come on with me and chat with me a little bit today. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course.
Why stop now? The story is just getting started.